That characteristic clinking and clanking, the unmistakable melody of Mahjong.
The name of the game comes from the sound that you make when you're shuffling the tiles. It's supposed to sound like the sound of sparrows taking off or flapping away from trees.
The sound and the game inspired the Sparrow Room in Northern Virginia, founded by Andrew Lowe.
A lot of what we wanted to do was kind of create this location as like a cultural touch point.
This dim space, similar to a speakeasy, adorned in emerald jade and smooth wood, invites guests from amateur to expert to play Mahjong. The game, born in 19th century China and enjoyed by generations since.
My grandfather was like the Mahjong master in our household. I'm sure similar in a lot of households. And so my experience was, I'm sure, echoed by a lot of other second-generation Asian kids of like sitting on the kitchen floor watching like the adults playing Mahjong.
Lowe would graduate from the floor to a seat at the Mahjong table, enticed by the engraved symbols on those tiles, stacked in neat rows, and the mystique.
You have to have a poker face. If you're sitting at the table with aunties and uncles and you don't have a poker face, you're going to be taken for all your money.
On its face, Mahjong is similar to poker.
You'll have three of a kind, you'll have straights.
That clinking and clanking comes from the shuffling of the tiles, the start of play. Each player begins with a hand of 13 tiles arranged in a wall.
I'm not as smooth as you are.
Each player takes turns drawing and discarding tiles throughout. The goal, to have a winning hand of 4 matching or sequential sets and a pair to make 14 tiles.
Mahjong really is a mind game at the end of it.
The experienced players keep track of what other players are tossing out while being careful about not revealing their own hand.
When they're drawing from the wall, they won't even look at the tile. They'll just rub their thumb under the tile and like Braille know what the tile is.
Mahjong has been a pastime in China since the 1800s. More than a century later, it hit the radar in the U.S., first among Jewish Americans. Then it made appearances on the big screen in successful films about Asian Americans.
Each week they hoped to be lucky, and that hope was their only joy.
Including the 1993 Joy Luck Club. And in 2019 in the romantic comedy Crazy Rich Asians, in which Mahjong was part of this pivotal scene.
You have these awesome cast of characters dressed in like awesome clothes playing Mahjong in such a beautiful room and doing it with such like swagger. It was definitely the beginning of like the Mahjong trend and Mahjong wave.
Luck and being conscious.
The wave has pulled this group of retirees in. Every week they gather for a Mahjong meetup in Washington, D.C.
The friendship is just amazing. I can't say it enough. 3, bam.
Mahjong. Oh, so close.
At Lowe's space at the Sparrow Room, it goes beyond the game. Have a platter of dim sum.
It's bamboo shoots, it's ginger, it's shrimp, it's a little bit of white pepper.
Or Asian-inspired cocktails while you're at it.
First day we infuse a oolong 5-spice tea.
The tastes, sights, and sounds, creating an experience and awareness about Asian culture.
Where people feel safe to engage and safe to learn is the larger goal and like the small steps we need to take to create a more equitable and understanding community.
Francis Coe, CGTN.
Hopefully they'll get sucked in and learn how to play.
Arlington, Virginia.